There's a bigger issue here. Just because a group of people belong to the Federation, it does not mean that they are saints. The trouble is Earth. On Earth, there is no poverty, no crime, no war. You look out the window of Starfleet headquarters and you see paradise. Well, it's easy to be a saint in paradise. Out there, all the problems haven't been solved yet. Out there are no saints, just people. Angry, scared, determined people who are going to do whatever it takes to survive.
What I want to know is, out of all the stories you told me, which ones were true and which ones weren't?
My dear doctor, they're all true.
Even the lies?
Especially the lies.
On behalf of the Bajoran government
And the Promenade Merchants Association.
I officially welcome you to Deep Space Nine.
Welcome back, everybody, to Especially the Lies, a Deep Space Nine podcast. If you're currently confused about where you're finding our show, don't worry, we are equally as confused as you are. Last week, we made the comment that we did not have access to our show through Apple, but we were going to be able to get access to the Gray 17 account to upload the show there. Well, lo and behold, something occurred. We got access to Gray 17, and then Apple sent me a second email and said, "Oh, congratulations, now you have Especially the Lies too." So it gave us both accounts. So we will be posting this under Especially the Lies. Sorry for any and all of the confusion. Like I said, we are equally as confused as you are. And thank you for your patience as we have figured all this out. As I said in our note to our Patreons, as a pro tip to all our listeners, if you do decide to prematurely check out of this existence, please write down your goddamn passwords for your friends and loved ones. It'll be a real fucking convenience for them.
Thanks, Scott.
Love you, Scott.
You can actually buy a folder on, what's it called? Fuck, I'm dead, now what? And it will organize it all for you.
Mm-hmm.
See, these things would be helpful.
Yes.
Like the first thing you do is you go clear my fucking browser history.
Leave your password so someone
Leave
can
the
log
passwords.
in. And
Clear the other history, but
your
leave the
browser
passwords.
history.
We need those.
They're all in a text file somewhere called like stuff.txt.
Helpful.
Yeah. Just gotta know where to look.
So we are back here to discuss the episode Rivals, and tonight on the show we have
Prentice.
Jessi.
Mike.
Emily.
Christopher.
Nicole.
And Chris.
And I am Blake, the host for this interesting show that we have going. I don't know what to say after our last 2 episodes. We'll see where we go with this one. Mike, I think you have a synopsis for us this evening.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Quark gets some unfair competition from Prince Humperdinck. Miles finds out that it's hell getting old, and Keiko gets real thirsty.
Oh my God.
That was a good one,
Some
Mike.
of that O'Brien.
Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into our first impressions from those who are just watching the show for the first time. And Christopher, how about you go ahead and kick us off tonight?
My first impression is 38. Miles O'Brien is 38 years old.
Well,
I don't believe it.
maybe.
I know they say that, like, because of like clothing and how people look and the hairstyles and everything, like it makes you look older if you're looking back at it. But I don't believe he's 38.
Dude, I agree with you completely. I'm okay with the space station. I'm okay with wormhole aliens. That broke my ability to suspend disbelief.
Right.
That's what took me. Okay.
Yeah,
That's my
the straw.
impression right now, is that I don't believe that he's 38. This is a story that could have been in any setting. It didn't necessarily have to be a Star Trek episode. It felt more like an episode of a 70s police procedural. That, to me, that's what it felt like. It was all right.
Jessi, I know you usually have thoughts.
So, I didn't hate it. Let's start there. Wasn't the worst that I've watched. I watched the last 2 and didn't love those. But just to speak on fucking Keiko, Jesus Christ, ma'am. Like, tone it the fuck down. There had to have been more to that story when they originally wrote it. Because she's like, win or lose, we're celebrating tonight. And then she tries to get it in right before he goes to the fucking match. My God, ma'am. tongue back in your mouth. Give him a second to breathe. It was
Gotta charge up.
Good for her.
Charging up for the big sports competition.
Listen, there's a time and a fucking place. You know me. Fucking Ryan calls me a prude for a reason. I don't want to see you trying to fucking get it in a normal fucking scene. That was a totally fucking normal scene. I digress.
Ryan and say we're going to need another talk about Jessi being a prude.
It was just a weird fucking kiss. It was very over the top for no fucking reason whatsoever. And listen, if we were watching Star Trek Deep Hole 9, that would be one thing. But we're not. We're watching fucking, it was just a totally normal fucking thing. So.
Star Trek through the wormhole.
But oh yeah, we got to see a sleeping, snoring just the tip. What the fuck? Dude, that fucking dude told me. I was like, how many dicks are we gonna see on this fuck? Like, I've already seen a walking just the tip. Now we're seeing a snoring just the tip.
The look on Prentice's face right now is just priceless.
I totally didn't see that. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Go back and watch it. He looks like a fucking just the tip in his face.
I mean, after syphilis, what are you talking about? I mean, all right, never mind. Let me shut up.
What's my first impressions, Prentice? We're not fucking. Listen, this is not rocket science. Have you not figured out how fucking unhinged I am on a regular basis? It's even worse now. You're all welcome.
Does that conclude your TED Talk, Jessi?
I think so. Jello, my name is Jessi. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. You're all welcome.
Chris, what have you got for us?
Shit. I mean...
Why do I get so many of those fucking reactions?
Because you're a wild girl, that's why. That was some wild shit that you just said. His face actually reminded me of Dracula at the end of Bram Stoker's Dracula, when the cowboy shoved the machete or the big ass Bowie knife in his chest, and his whole face was all fucked up. That's what it kind of looked like to me. Just the tip, though. I mean, hey, if it's just the tip face, that's funnier. So let's go with that one.
It looked like a dick. Okay, so look there, we've had it.
So for me, off rip, when Jesse's boy Bashir was doing the heart hand exercise in the racquetball room, I checked out. I was like, okay, so this episode ain't gonna be on shit. Let me just go ahead and sit back. And I think that helped me because it lowered my expectations, so I didn't go through the episode expecting much, and then it didn't make me end up hating the episode. It had enjoyable parts to me. I felt like it was a throwaway episode. I'm kind of waiting for the show to get more into a deeper, heavier storyline that carries over from episode to episode. I understand there's like a gazillion episodes a season in this stuff, so everything can't always be a heavy storyline. It was interesting to see Quark get some competition, and the guy playing the con man, I can't remember the character's name.
Martus,
yeah, Martus. He was an interesting cat. I kind of felt like he could have been a little bit more charming and debonair, and maybe that would have put over the believability of him being that con man. Because I think all the notes were there as far as his character arc in the episode, but I just don't know if he delivered as well as I think he should have. I had a fleeting thought. I was like, Cisco again is just kind of relegated to being a background prop. And he's the commander of the space station. I'm kind of like, when are they going to make him more integral in the storyline? Oh, O'Brien getting cooked in the racquetball room was funny to me. I thought that was funny. But yeah, overall, I guess it was okay. Like my expectations weren't high after seeing that opening scene, so I didn't end up hating it.
So let's go to our eternal ray of sunshine and Miss Positivity and Pure Thoughts, Nicole. What did you think of this episode?
Well, not today, actually. I really didn't care for this episode. The con artist guy looked really familiar. Like, I feel like I've seen him somewhere before, and it was driving me batshit crazy because I couldn't figure it out. He looked really familiar. I fucking hated his character. I wanted to punch him in his smug face the entire show. He really irritated me. And then it was funny, though, that Quark was getting a little, like, frustrated and that his brother totally dipped and was like, peace, bitch, I'm out. I'm going to go work for this guy. So that was pretty funny. I enjoyed kind of just the chaos. People were getting hurt. People were falling down. Things were breaking. Like, it was just chaotic. And I secretly kind of love chaos. So I really enjoyed the chaos that was happening. I thought the racquetball stuff was funny because you really see how competitive O'Brien is. Like, he is hardcore competitive. And he's like, I'm not letting that little shit beat me. So I've rallied for Bashir from the beginning. I like him a lot. But he was a fucking tool in the beginning of this episode. Like, straight up. When he was doing those exercises, like, dude, come on. I hope he punches you in the face with a racquetball. Like, he was very annoying. I was all for the Keiko O'Brien moment. I was like, get it, Keiko. Get your man. And I kind of, is this weird that I enjoyed a shirtless O'Brien? I didn't mind it. I didn't hate it.
Absolute fuck.
I think you and Scott would have. But the way that Scott has talked about O'Brien, I think he definitely would have been in the same boat with you.
I love O'Brien. I really do. He's like my favorite character, I think. I don't know what it is about him. I think it's just because he's so crotchety, and that's so the anti-me. I'm not crotchety. So I think that's why I like him so much. But yeah, those were my highlights of this episode. Overall, though, I really did not care for it. And like you said, I forgot who said it, kind of felt like a throwaway episode. Like it was insignificant.
So Martus reminded me of Morden.
That's it.
They're going to fucking smoke me when they come back and listen to it. It's just not the way that he acted, just the simple way that he looked to me.
Yes.
I saw him and I was like, why does he look so much like Morden? So
that's what I was thinking. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, and I will say, so before we jump to those who have seen it, for the actor who did that, the actor's name is Chris Sarandon, who is actually Susan Sarandon's ex-husband. And he had recurring roles on The Practice, ER. He's been on several of the Law and Order episodes as a guest star. So you've probably seen him in and around various places.
He had a very familiar face, and I know I've seen him on stuff before. I just couldn't place it, and I know we can't Google, so I figured I'd ask you guys.
That's why I Google for you, and then I can see these things, so we don't yell at you for Googling later.
Now's the time to jump in with it then. I referenced it already. He's Prince Humperdinck in The Princess Bride.
Oh, that's okay.
And if y'all haven't seen that movie, like, go fuck.
Wow.
I feel strongly about it. It's
one of my favorites too. I feel you.
The other thing is, if you didn't recognize his face, I would be willing to bet with this crowd, there's a strong possibility that you've watched Nightmare Before Christmas. And that right there is the Pumpkin King, Jack Skellington.
Oh. Okay, I just Googled Prince Humperdinck, and holy shit, that is him. I knew it. I knew his face was familiar, but he also did remind me of Morden too.
So before Nicole goes and does more Googling, just because watching your reactions through this, Prentice, I want to give you the first shot to respond to someone who's watched the show to what you've just heard.
First thing, let me respond to Mike. I know Chris Sarandon from the character he played in Fright Night. He was the main vampire in that movie. So as a kid, I was afraid of him. So still seeing him playing a character as not being a horror character, it was kind of weird. I never saw The Princess Bride. I'm sorry, I didn't watch that movie. So my main encounter, I know. I mean, hey, what can I say? But Chris Sarandon, that's where I know him from. I will say this episode was just kind of like we've been saying, a filler episode. But the little bit of world building was that I didn't realize he was Ilorian. Ilorians are the same groups or same race as Guinan. So the race of listeners. So I was like, okay, I did not realize that when I watched this years ago. And other than that, then this episode being about a souped up Rubik's Cube that becomes a popular fad on the station, it was ho-hum. It had some moments. And I also looked up, Chris, when I saw they said Miles O'Brien was 38 years old. I said, no way. I just looked it up. I was like, when this episode was filmed, he legitimately was around 42 years old.
Okay, but that's still as old as that's as old as I am, and that
you look like a child. Stop it. Like you will look like a child until you're probably 92 years old.
It's microplastic.
But that's why I don't believe that he's 38.
But to be fair, they said he couldn't be a day over 38. They didn't say he was actually 38. They were like guessing his age.
Yeah,
so he could have been like 50.
They're making the assumption that he's younger.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're actually it makes it worse. Like,
well,
they're saying he could at most be 38. There's no possible way.
People used to look at the difference between teens today and my generation.
Well, that's what I was saying. Clothing styles change, and all of this changes, and so hairstyles and the way like you do. Some people wear makeup. All that changes, and it gives you an appearance that looks older to the next generation because it's out of style, right? So that's part of it. That is, it's unbelievable that he's that young, because I just don't see it, right?
I love that this is being the point of debate.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Well, and to be fair, he's 2 years younger than me. Like, and I'm not a young pup like fucking Captain Babyface over there.
Nobody say a word if you know what's smart.
Go ahead, Prentice. Fuck, speak
up. But also, like, the clothing that he was wearing, right? His workout gear looked basically the same as the drunk in the jail cell with, how did Jessi refer to him?
Christopher, he's on a government salary. He can't afford Gymshark. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but look at, compared to what Bashir was wearing. I mean,
he's a twat.
He's a twat.
He was wearing aluminum foil. What are we talking about?
Yeah, but it didn't look like a actual damn sack of potatoes. Right?
Wow.
Wow,
he's right.
He's right. Looking like a sack of potatoes.
Oh, damn.
Hey.
No, but Chris is right, though, because if you even look at, like, the NBA back in the day, like the Bulls in the 80s, like, they're 20-something-year-old guys with the George Jefferson cul-de-sac, and, like, they look crazy, but they're in their 20s, right? They're in the prime of their lives, but to us today, they look so old. So he's right, like, O'Brien does not look like he's in his 30s. Unless maybe, I don't know. I don't want to judge. His life could have been hard, right? Hard times.
You never know what somebody's been through.
I think some of it with the outfit, though, I think you see this too. You get people who are amateurs who maybe enjoy playing a sport or doing something. And then you've got the ones who go all out, buy the most expensive outfits, all the gear, all the stuff. It's in pristine condition because God knows it never looks like they have fucking actually used it. And they show up to do something. I mean, I've seen this I enjoy target shooting. I've seen the same thing at the range where I show up. I've got my weapon of choice with me and I'm just out there shooting targets. And then the person shows up like they're paramilitary with all the stuff and all the decked out attachments and everything, and it's like, really, what the fuck?
Right, and I get it. Like, Bashir's doing Tai Chi, like to stretch, before the match. But it just, I get they wanted to draw like a contrast between the two of them, but like the snobbery of Bashir and like the everyman nature of O'Brien, they nailed it. And I loved it when Quark was doing his best Don King impression, hyping up the match. Like that for me was a great moment in this episode. And I enjoyed it, but it's ridiculous.
So Prentice, any more first impressions now that we've settled the age issue?
That was such a great salient point. What I would say, just again, it was a middle of the road episode. I can't wait to get further along in the season. But other than that, it was just a average throwaway episode.
Mike, how about your thoughts?
I liked it. I enjoyed this episode. I thought it was fun. It was kind of cute. I think Chris kind of nailed it by saying, like, it's not one that you take seriously. And I guess on this rewatch of DS9 and like rolling it all the way back to the point where we're getting television that's not serialized, where every episode is its own little self-contained thing. At first, I wasn't excited about it, and at first I didn't care for it that much. But I am finding myself as we go just kind of enjoying it. Like, I'm just kind of along for the ride because I like the characters enough, and I like these little stories where they come up with a fun, quirky sci-fi premise and let the characters put them into these fun situations. I'll say I don't think the execution of the whole, I don't know what you want to call it. It's like the gimmick stolen from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the improbability drive or whatever, the machine that causes bad luck. I think is like a really kind of fun idea. I don't think it's executed with crap in this episode. It's a fun idea that they just didn't really do anything with. Like, really, the best you could come up with was like, oh, the computer deleted my file, or Kira tripped on her notebook or something. But still, like I said, it's a fun idea, and it's a vague enough setup that I think the characters carry the rest of the episode. I loved the interactions with Miles and Bashir, and kind of them both struggling with different sides of the same problem, which is space pickleball. I loved Quark and his headiness and trying to deal with having a real competitor on the ship. And frankly, I loved Chris Sarandon in this role. I don't think that they were going for a straight up Mr. Morden, I am evil. I think in a way, the character that they were trying to portray was the con man with the heart of gold. He's making his way in the universe, but he's not really a bad guy. He just kind of goes with the flow, and if bad shit kind of happens, then, morally flexible. I enjoyed it. I think he plays that role perfectly. I think he played the character of Prince Humperdinck in this episode, basically. I mean, and I liked it. I thought it was all really good. I'm looking forward to seeing more characters like Odo, Kira, and Cisco not be relegated so much to the background, but it's only so much space you can chew on, So overall, I enjoyed it. I also don't actually wish for anybody that hasn't seen Princess Bride to cause themselves harm, but you need to go freaking watch the goddamn movie. It is such a core part of my being.
That's how my dad
Thank
feels.
you for
too.
adding that disclaimer so that I don't have to do it.
Yeah. Just go watch.
But to be fair, you're right about Mr. Morden. I don't think I was really, I wasn't at all saying that like they were supposed to be like similar characters. I just think they like favored each other looks wise.
Oh yeah.
So,
I get the similarities, but yeah, Morden was straight up evil. This guy,
he was a fucking dick. And
this guy's just kind of a dick.
This guy was just like, this guy was just a con artist. I didn't think he was like genuinely like kill a whole race of people evil like Morden was.
Man, and I'll tell you what, kudos to Prentice. You pointed out the connection to Guinan, which doesn't mean anything to half of the people on the show right now, but like I did not catch that at all. They purposely said what alien race he was, and it just flew right past me. And so that was kind of amazing.
Well, and if I remember my broadcast history of the franchise is right, they actually hadn't on TNG said Guinan was a Lorian yet.
And I guess for those of us on the podcast that don't know what we're talking about, Guinan was like the bartender on Star Trek: The Next Generation. It's like for a while it was kind of part of the show that like Captain Picard would go hang out and talk to Guinan, and she was like the confidant and whatnot. So
they just wanted an excuse to have Whoopi Goldberg on the show.
But that's why it's relevant.
Yeah.
Emily.
Skip it. It's not
super quiet. I can't hear. I'm
Is
sorry.
it?
I can't hear you at all.
God damn, my mic. Is that better?
If I don't move or make any noise at all.
Sorry, I don't know what's going on with it.
Is it me? Maybe I just don't have my.
No, it's not just you.
It's doing. Yeah, I don't. It's not a favorite.
Okay. So I would agree this episode's not necessarily a favorite of mine either. I do think it's a space filler episode as far as but at the same time, researching a little bit into this one, some areas I think make sense is this story was actually about a year old and was originally pitched as a potential season 1 story. And I think it shows in some of the character development and the overall story that this definitely feels a lot more like a season 1 episode where they're still trying to figure out what the hell they're doing than a getting into the middle of season 2 type episode. And I think that really explains some of it. Then the part that Prentice mentioned, saying that Martus was an Elorian, if I remember correctly, TNG had not established that with Guinan yet. But the original concept for the episode was this character was actually going to be Guinan's son, and Whoopi Goldberg was going to guest in this episode. And they pretty quickly figured out that was probably not the best use of Whoopi Goldberg, or of this story when all of a sudden she would have this worthless kid out scamming half the galaxy. So they ended up not going with that particular route with the story, but it definitely shows that they had this on the back burner for a while and had been tweaking it for a while and finally threw it in at this point in season 2. So I know we've already had some discussions around Miles and being 38 years old and whether he is or isn't, or if he just looks rather old for his age. I mean, keep in mind, for those that know Miles' backstory, he's had some history. He's been around a little bit. He's seen some shit in the Federation. He put up with the Enterprise, for Christ's sake, before he got transferred to Deep Space Nine. So he had to put up with Jean-Luc Picard and a few others. I'm sure that can add some years to someone's life. But anyone else want to jump into some topics from Rivals? We've got Quark attempting to use a charity to raise money. I did enjoy that part.
Yeah, I thought it was funny when he tried to get Bashir to drink the whatever it was, the concoction that would have had him, all dazed and out of it. And Quark was like, "But what about the kids? You got to throw the match for the kids so they can get their blankets." And Julian was like, "Nah, son, they're gonna get their blankets because you're gonna give them the blankets regardless of what happens." I like that part. I thought that was
probably
a good part.
the second most badass that we've seen Bashir in this entire series.
Mm-hmm.
One time he went commando and took a bunch of dudes out, and this time he just flipped Quark's hustle right back on him. That was amazing. I did really enjoy that storyline, and I mean, I'm a Quark fan anyway, so this was a good one because I loved how that man just did not stop hustling this entire episode. He tried to con our dude out of the device because he saw the potential in it. He immediately turned it around and figured out a way to back Bashir and O'Brien into a corner about celebrity deathmatch, and then immediately, without missing a beat, also tried to then rig the match to his benefit. It's just one thing after another. You gotta admire him.
And I love having the monks. If you noticed when they were watching the match, he had the monks right there in the front row too.
Oh yeah,
to help sell it. Nicole.
Yeah, this was a really fun Quark episode. I didn't like him at first, and he's grown on me, and I tend to like him now. But I did think it was really funny how he was like, okay, what can I do to fuck this guy over? And then he came up with a new scheme. And he's a crafty little bee. He's always got something up his sleeve. At first, I kind of felt bad that his bar was empty and stuff. But I'm like, it's Quark. He'll think of something. And sure enough, he sure did. He's a crafty little guy. So it was kind of fun to watch him. It was like watching two con artists go at each other and kind of figure it out. So that was fun. I did have a thought or a question and maybe some clarification. The lady that the con artist gave the money to that he was talking to in the beginning when Odo pulled him away, is she also a con artist? Was she trying to con the con? Okay, that's what I thought. So I thought that was funny too at the end how Quark is like, oh, she was trying to con me. So Quark was the one who kind of figured that out too. And this was a really good Quark episode, I will say, because we haven't really had a big Quark one in a while, so this was kind of fun. That was probably the best part.
5 seasons of you, and the shady count of this person shady, that person shady.
And I missed
Everybody's shady.
I missed it. Yeah.
And you're right here, barely into season 2. I like Quark. I like this guy.
Yeah, I mean, he's still
with this show.
He's still shady as fuck, but I do like him. But I can't believe I totally didn't catch that lady was a con artist till the very end. She definitely would have conned my ass.
Jessi.
This has nothing to do with the plot in any way, shape, or form. So you're all welcome again. The Dabo girl. No, I'm sorry. I don't want to assume that she was a Dabo girl by the way that she was dressed and acting. But the Dabo girl with the hair crown was giving me the fucking ick. I could not handle her hair crown. What the? Okay, so yes, I was irrationally irritated by her hair crown.
I saw it too.
So I literally wrote ick. I don't know. It bothered me.
I didn't. I was like, ooh, she's a baddie.
She's a baddie.
So many questions that raises with outside conversations that we're just not even going to get into at this point here, Jessi.
I'm just saying, it's creepy. It was weird and creepy, and I hated it. You're welcome.
Duly noted.
Quality podcasting, kids. Quality podcasting.
Mean, after the style choices of the aliens in the previous episode, I thought she was kind of getting it. I don't know.
I mean, she was beautiful without the hair crown. If you just stopped the hair crown, I probably wouldn't have even noticed her, to tell you the truth.
Like I said, I already made a Don King reference, so somebody had to have some wild ass hair in this episode.
Yeah, it was done on purpose. And it's just I don't know, it's stupid. It's clearly nobody else is bothered by it. I'm fine, we're moving on. But it just gave me the ick over and over and over and over. Every time I'd fucking see her, and she was on there 3 or 4 fucking scenes. Jesus, I don't know why I'm so angry.
We've asked that for years, Jessi.
I also liked how they referenced that Rom shaves the latinum again.
No, he doesn't. Just a little bit.
Just a little.
Right.
I think Rom is probably one of my favorite characters. Just the comedic moments he gets, kind of like you see in this episode. I love watching the interactions with him and some of the other characters. And he just kind of is that bumbling character in the background sometimes. So I really enjoy anything that he's in when he's around and gets to partake in some of these episodes.
I didn't even realize that, until Mike said it, I didn't even realize that it stopped bothering me that this show isn't serialized. At first it really, really bothered me because we were so used to Babylon 5 and now Like, I didn't even think about that, but I just thoroughly enjoy the show the way that it is. So it'll be interesting when it goes serialized. I didn't even think about that. This is going great, guys.
This really is going great. So, and one thing that's been mentioned, I mean, you've talked about O'Brien, and I think this episode does really kind of add into that. O'Brien is the everyman character. Mm-hmm. We had that in Babylon 5 for those that were on that show. That was, Garibaldi was the everyman character in Babylon 5. And when it comes to Deep Space Nine, our everyman character is Miles O'Brien. He's that one that the audience is meant to identify with. He is all of the rest of us in this very alien and different world, even from other Star Trek franchises. This is very different. Nicole?
Blake, you saying that made me think maybe that's why I like O'Brien so much, because we all know I loved Garibaldi. He was like my dude. And ever since I first saw O'Brien on this show, and you guys were like, oh, O'Brien must suffer. I'm like, why? I like this character. Why does he gotta suffer? But he does kind of suffer. But I really do. I think that you hit the nail on the head with that, because he is kind of like the everyday kind of goes to work, works with his hands, has to go home, got the wife and kid at home, crotchety. Maybe she bitches at him and makes him do stuff at the house. Like the typical, I feel like
she wanted him to do stuff at the house.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say.
But I feel like he's the most relatable in the sense of going through the motions of the day. Even though he's on a space station, you could still see yourself in him dealing with a bunch of dumb bullshit or dumb people that you don't want to deal with. Or I feel like he gives that vibe so much. And I think that's probably why I like him so much.
I see Keiko totally different. I didn't do it on purpose. Listen, it's been way worse in the past with other people. So don't fucking do that to me.
We're going to wind that one backwards.
Yeah, please don't. God damn it. I'm crossing it out. I spelled it wrong. It's Keiko. Okay, I got it. Anyway, okay, starting over. I after this episode, I see Keiko completely fucking different. I think she's a freak. She likes to get it in.
Because
good for her.
She wanted to have a session with her husband.
She was trying to get it in before he left. But listen, whatever.
Listen, she's just trying to relieve the tension.
Maybe I'm just a jealous bitch. Okay, maybe I just don't like other people being fun. Okay, but it was so odd to me. It was just an odd. It was like the orgasm heard around the world. Very fucking odd to me. It was out of place.
Yes, but this one didn't radicalize a whole group of individuals.
You don't know that yet, Blake.
Maybe she was trying to sabotage him. Maybe she wanted him to lose.
Maybe she was trying to drain him of his energy.
Drain him. Give him rubber legs.
Man,
she clearly
put a bet on Bashir.
Yeah, no, dude. She clearly knew he was about to go get his ass kicked, and she was trying to take his mind off
exactly.
it, giving him something else to think
exactly.
about.
She's like, we're celebrating tonight either way, babe, because I know you're about to fucking lose.
Yeah. That was exactly what I heard.
Once again,
she was going to get it one way or the other.
As soon as Miles walked out, she was going to go get the daughter, Molly, and take her to the bar to watch her dad get murdered.
Wow.
I thought that was the best part. As they're wrapping this storyline up, how they figure out that O'Brien and Bashir figure out that there's something wrong is that O'Brien's winning.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. They're like, something is so wrong because he is beating me and we need to stop this match because there's no way in hell that O'Brien is going to beat. Right? It
was such a missed opportunity for Miles to turn to Bashir and go, did Quark drug you or something? And he's like, he tried to.
I mean, to be fair, it'd be like you beating Michael Jordan in basketball. It's just not a thing. You know what I mean? He's a college player. But we're not going to act like you didn't just slip that she had a bet on Bashir in there and kept moving on. So
look, if you have a chance to make money, right, and it's a guarantee.
I think this is illegal. I think there's laws against this.
Yeah, there generally are laws against that type of betting.
Not at
Don't
Quark's.
people get fucking fired for that shit? Okay.
Or at least blocked from the Hall of Fame.
I now see why Christopher is the way that he.
There's so many reasons we could all say that we are the way we are on this particular show.
Scott. We can just all agree that it's Scott.
We're going to be blaming him for things for a while, mostly because he's not here to tell us we're wrong anymore.
Yeah, fuck you, Scott. Come tell me I'm wrong, shithead.
I wouldn't. He might actually come.
I was going to say, you might be having a conjuring evening later on if you keep invoking it.
I might need to have
like that.
Listen, I'm not scared of him. I wasn't scared of him when he was here. I'm not scared of him when he'll be here again. So I got some words for him. Me and him will have some. I don't care if he looks. Never mind. I hate this podcast. Are we done?
Damn, Jessi.
No, like I don't hate the pot. Okay. Yep. I'm done talking tonight.
Do we have any closing thoughts? Because I don't see this episode going anywhere good from here.
This is wild. Okay.
Not
All
really.
the feels today.
There's not a lot of meat in this one.
There
Yeah.
really is not a lot in this one
Next
to
week
go
should be
with.
better.
But
No, like
and
Cisco
the
didn't
few
even
comments
show
that
up
can't
until
be made,
halfway
we
through
can't
the
make for
episode.
some of you. So
You said what? I didn't hear either one.
So let's go to any questions or predictions. Let's just ask kind of in general, do any of our newbies have any questions or predictions at this point?
When does Rom betray Quark? Because he's going to. He's going to realize that Quark is just using him and exploiting him, and he is going to betray him, and I cannot wait. It's going to be so fun to watch.
I mean, he tried to kill him once already.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like it's going to be an ongoing thing.
The only question I had was what happened to the con artists and the guy and the girl? Obviously, the guy was going to be sent away, but like, did they both get sent away? Did they go to jail? Like, where did they go? What happened to them? And God, I hope we don't fucking see him again either.
You
I
want to know
thought
where
they
they went,
both
but you don't want to see
wound
them
up
again.
in the jail cell at Odo's.
One of them got paid to leave by Odo, didn't he? Like
Quark.
Odo, yeah. Fuck, yes. That guy.
I thought that
Yeah.
was BS, though. I didn't like that part. I'm like, Quark is all about his money. He's all about the ends. And he's going to consider paying this guy who he just beat, humiliated, and got locked up. He's going to pay him to leave the ship. Like, I didn't really buy that one. I did think it was funny. When I was watching the episode, I was calling her Hustle Mommy. When Hustle Mommy got locked up at the end, and it was shown that she was, hustling everybody else. I thought that was funny, that Hustle Mommy got old boy who was locked up. Yeah, no questions for me. I'm ready to kind of get into something more heavy, story-wise, more significant, up the stakes. Let's get some consequences on the line and really put these people through some shit. Like, I'm ready to have a meaningful episode myself. Why are you laughing?
Agree.
I'm ready to see him suffer. Is what
I agree.
I want to see some real shit. I want to see him go through some shit. Like, on the
For
other
folks
side
that are listening to this conversation of wanting a meaningful episode, listening to this after we did our recording of Sanctuary, just keep that in mind.
Sorry for you. You get every now and then you get a filler episode. So that's what you're getting.
But this is what you're going to get until you get us a meaningful episode. You're going to go fuck on some shit. You're going to get some Hollow Hub. You're going to get Hustle Mommy. You're going to get this random stuff until we get some substantial episodes, man.
I'm just speechless on that one. So
Y'all,
I think on that note,
y'all just not a fan of comedies or what? Come on.
So I think on that note, we've done all the damage to this episode that we can do. So we're going to get ready to kick all of our newbies out, and we will go discuss these very intellectual questions with, I still need to figure out what the hell we're calling the last half of this show. At this point, Emily, what are we doing after this?
Fuck, I don't know.
Got it. So I have been Blake, and with me this evening has been
Prentice.
Jessi.
Mike.
Emily.
Christopher.
Nicole.
And Chris.
Y'all have a good time, and we will be back next week with another episode of Especially the Lies, and I'm not going to guarantee that we're going to get a better episode, but we'll see what we end up doing.
Thank you for listening to Especially the Lies, a Deep Space Nine podcast. You can find all the places to listen to and watch this podcast by searching for Especially the Lies on your podcast app or on YouTube. We want to hear from you, so join the conversation at Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Be sure to subscribe and leave a review where you are listening to or watching this podcast. Especially the Lies is not affiliated with, and the podcast has not been prepared, approved, or licensed by Paramount or any other owners of the Star Trek copyright. All clips included in this podcast are the intellectual property of the respective copyright holders. They are included here for purposes of review, and no infringement is intended.
Why have you brought me here? Show yourselves. What do you want?
The Cisco has returned to us. He arrives with questions.
There are always questions.
All right, ding dongs, what are we doing here?
Not much to talk about.
Not much to talk about with this one.
No, there isn't.
I do think it's funny. We talked a little bit about the racquetball thing, and this is the only episode this actually appears in. And part of the reason is so they modified that set into the holodeck, the holosuite set, and the angles were so fucked up in it. As they said, it's a sci-fi set, not a practical set. And trying to do the racquetball game, the balls just kept going everywhere. They wouldn't go where they were supposed to. They ended up having extras off stage throwing them back, and this was so expensive to do and took so much. They actually never used this again, and this is why in season 3 they put the dartboard in Quark's, because they said the dartboard was cheaper than dealing with this bullshit.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought there was an ongoing thing about Bashir and O'Brien playing whatever the hell this game is.
They play darts. It becomes darts in season 3.
They play darts.
Okay.
And then they have their other shorted.
All their holosuite adventures.
Yes.
Because they've got the Alamo.
The Alamo, thank you.
Okay.
And then they have like the build with the little figure, all that shit.
And
I think this foundationally is kind of that start of that. You get that Bashir and O'Brien relationship that's going to continue through the rest of the series.
I was going to say, I almost said something and spoiled it about how this is like the beginning of the bromance, because we've had at least one episode before where they highlighted the fact that Miles doesn't like Julian.
And I'm kind of surprised that nobody asked about that change in relation, if this was going to be a transition, because this really kind of is the beginning of their little buddy comedy hour.
Where was Nicole on this one?
So there are those little gems in it where it starts to lay some of that foundation as far as what's going forward. The question we did get about when is Rom going to betray Quark a couple times a season?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I can't wait till we get to the one where Rom starts a union. That, I think, is going to be...
I'm looking forward to that.
As far as, like, the Ferengi, I think that is, like, the ultimate betrayal was when Quark forms the union.
It absolutely... Yeah, there wasn't really much. That is why I think next a little bit.
Yeah, I think next week will be a little bit... It gets some of into Odo's background. It'll be interesting to see how much they pick up on that with Odo's background and how much they start reading into some of that.
Yeah,
because this is one where they like find a bit of a changeling and they start teaching.
Yeah, test the stuff on it. So that should at least make for interest about ethics, I'm sure.
So we'll see where we go with that one. And again, as we said last week, this is going to start picking back up, especially when we get to the end of season 2, because you've got really, you get the introduction of the Jem'Hadar, which is going to set up so much going forward. Yeah. And so things, as we get towards the end of season 2, those who are wanting to see more substance are going to start seeing. So that is coming. We just got to get through a few of these kind of season 1 remnant episodes as we head in. We're about the halfway point of season 2 at this point, so we should be picking.
I was looking through what we have coming. I feel like Blood Oath might be we really see a shift in Lost.
Maquis 1 and 2, definitely.
Yeah, that the Maquis comes after Blood Oath.
Yeah, it comes after Blood Oath. Coming up immediately, we've got Alternate, we've got Armageddon Game.
But those aren't bad.
Armageddon Game's actually kind of interesting. I think we might get some good discussion on Armageddon Game.
Whispers was strange, if I remember.
That's going to be an O'Brien Must Suffer episode.
Yeah, it was different.
That one's interesting.
I was gonna say they're actually looking ahead. There's a few of them. Like O'Brien is the subject of some shit in a couple more episodes like this season.
Unfortunately, then we have to watch Paradise, and that is gonna be there's gonna be some opinions on Paradise.
Oh God, I have opinions on that one.
There's gonna be some opinions on Paradise
with Alexis.
Space Karen 2.0.
Space Karen.
She's worse than
Portland hippie Space Karen. I can say that I live here. All right, I think that is going to be a wrap for us this evening. Thank you all for listening, and we will be back next week. This has been Blake and
Prentice,
Mike,
and Emily.
Have a good one, y'all.
That's a way to sell it.
That was the saddest Chris I've ever heard you say.
So I'm not sure we're getting much better.
Hey, listeners, next one's going to suck too. Please come back.
Just
be
gone.
Good
What was it last week we discussed? Lowered expectations.
It was.
We're just going to
Is that
add the Lord
actually what it's
expectations
called?
tag again.
No, but
Oh.
It tracks for now. But
I think it can get worse. So that's my goal.
it's gonna get worse, but not next week.
Great.
Okay.
Good night.
All right, y'all.
Night. Bye.